What is up, ladies and gentlemen? So today I have taken a little bit of time out of editing one of my videos in After Effects to teach you guys a little bit about something that I think is very necessary in terms of screenwriting. What books should you be looking at if you're wanting to learn how to basically create films, be a screenwriter? What should I read? I've already pretty much giving you guys the hint that if you're going to be a screenwriter, you're going to want to buy Final Draft. You're going to want to get either Celtics as well if you don't have the money for Final Draft, but Final Draft is definitely very helpful. The other thing that's really helpful is reading tons of books on screenplay structure as well as screenwriting, because that's going to help you look a little bit more like a pro in the long run. Now, I'm not in the professional world at all right now. I'm pretty much just doing this pretty much on my own and learning this stuff by myself while also writing. There's no substitute for writing and actually doing it. But if you're going to be learning from books, these are the books that you're going to want to learn. The first one in the series is Blake Snyder's Save the Cat. Now, Save the Cat has a variety of different books, going from Save the Cat, which is basically about, Blake Snyder's journey a little bit, and then it goes into sort of his formula for writing screenplays, and shows you basically the beginnings and the creations of the beat board. And you can see this on the Save the Cat YouTube channel. I think there's one where they go through pretty much all of the beats and stuff within this book, and they show you guys kind of that formula through some of your favorite movies. Then there's Save the Cat Goes to the Movies, which is an even better book that kind of describes sort of, the nooks and crannies of the beat board, but within your favorite films as well. It's sort of like a text formula of some of the stuff that you can see on the YouTube page. And then there's Save the Cat Strikes Back, which is basically about, what happens once you get into the film industry. Now, sadly, Blake Snyder is dead, so he can't write any more screenplays and stuff, and he can't give us any more advice, but his work is pretty much followed within the film industry. That's something that they pretty much say, hey, you have to read this if you're going to be working within the film industry. The next book series that I would kind of highly recommend, or a single book in that nature, is going to be Hollywood Standard, The Complete and Authoritative Guide on Script Format and Style. This is the second edition, but it pretty much goes through everything you're going to want to know in terms of formatting your screenplay, from how to properly set it down on the page, like I've showed you guys in the past with your INTs for your slug lines, and the dialogue setup, and where you should put your parentheses and stuff. And it's one that I have at my in my bookshelf at my house. Now, I am not in my house right now. This is more or less my office. But this is a book that I kind of go by whenever I have questions on what I should be doing with writing in terms of my formatting and stuff and the structure and things. And I really do recommend that you buy this book if you're going to be thinking about kind of writing screenplays and stuff like that. This is stuff that I didn't know. When I was first starting out, I was pretty much just buying books and to kind of be able to improve my writing, and I was kind of just hunting down any bit of information that I could. And so the next book series that I'm going to recommend is Joseph Campbell's Hero with 1,000 Faces. There's also The Power of Myth, which is another book series by Joseph Campbell that I highly recommend you read, which is also in the recommended at the bottom of this page. But The Power, or The Hero with 1,000 Faces, pretty much goes over, Star Wars, how, it's the hero's journey and everything, and that there's multiple different heroes and stuff, and anybody can pretty much be a hero at some point in their lives and stuff, and it's more about the mythic structure of storytelling than anything else. I really do highly recommend Joseph Campbell's work, just because it pretty much opens your eyes to what storytelling could be in terms of writing and screenplay structure. I also have kind of when I've been watching movies lately, have kind of seen this formula and structure kind of play out with things like Star Wars, which is heavily influenced by Joseph Campbell's work. George Lucas even used his work to write the prequel movies and stuff. So this is another piece and tool that you guys can definitely use to make your stories look a little bit better. The next one that I highly recommend is Robert Mckee's Story. The movie adaptation based a character called Robert Mckee off of the person that created this book, off the real life persona, who is basically a script doctor. I have this book, on my bookshelf as well, and it basically is more of an academic kind of formula between story structure, substance, and style, like the book title kind of addresses. This is stuff that's taught in a lot of screenwriting courses and things like that. And if you're going to be wanting to do this on your own without going to school or anything, this is another one. It will probably take you a while just because it's a really extensive and huge book, but it definitely goes through things like Joseph Campbell and other sort of, authoritative authors on screenplay structure. So that is my recommendations for books and stuff that I think you guys should read if you're really looking to getting into the screenwriting industry, or if you want to become sort of an amateur screenwriter and you want to do this as a hobby or something to kind of get you in the movie industry. This is kind of what I recommend you getting. Now, I recommend this off of Barnes & Noble, but you can find this off things of Amazon and other booksellers. Pretty much wherever books are sold, these books are sold. You might have to order them and have them shipped to store or whatever. But these are the books that I have read that I really highly recommend that you guys read to kind of improve your game. Now, there's more screenwriting books and stuff, but at the end of the day, the books don't really matter. At the end of the day, it's doing the work and creating screenplays. Now, again, screenplays are usually 110, 120 pages or less. So you want to keep that in mind when you're creating your films. You don't want to go overly long, because if you're setting in a spec screenplay, usually producers and stuff aren't going to want to read that, especially a very long script. But that is my advice for people that want to kind of get into screenwriting, that, you know, may want to check out books and stuff on this. This is stuff, again, that I didn't know when I was first starting out, and stuff that I kind of recommend you guys looking at if you're going to hopefully try and get into the film industry. There's a lot of people doing this, but if you're persistent enough, then your dreams will most likely happen. So that is my final word on this. Hope you guys enjoyed this sort of little, you know, book review and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to be doing more of this in the future, but if you guys want to see more of this in the future, definitely like, rate, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.